Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy, and welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. Have an unbelievable show lined out today. We're going to start off up in Leavenworth, Kansas at the Fort Leavenworth Hunt. Unbelievable experience. You're going to really enjoy it. Then we're going to be going down south to Springfield, Missouri to visit Missouri's largest Western store, and that's PFI Western Store in Springfield, the home of BootDaddy.com. Wrapping it up then down south to Weatherford, Oklahoma, being with Phil Haugen Horsemanship. You're going to really enjoy it and his tips. So sit back, get yourself a cup of coffee, and come back and enjoy Better Horses TV with Ernie Rodina.
What do you get when you bring together one of the biggest names in veterinary medicine with one of the most caring and committed teams of horse health experts in the industry? You get a vaccine portfolio known for its quality and safety, a pharmaceutical line you can rely on to help manage pain and support performance. You get the products, programs, and people of Merck Animal Health.
You care about your animals and feeding them the best. And that's where Purina's local Kansas City dealers step in, providing you experience, knowledge, service, and advice. Purina feed dealers are people who believe in community involvement and who believe in you. They have a passion for the feed industry and are committed to helping customers unlock the potential of every animal. If you are looking for a trusted source for your animals, look no further than your local Purina feed dealer, your partner in animal care.
Hi, good morning. This is Pastor Frank from Open Range Fellowship. And you know, I've noticed a lot of people having anxiety over the things happening in the world and on the news and hurricanes and wars, and just it seems like every day is just a fearful moment for us. But in 1 John chapter 4 verse 18 it says that perfect love drives out fear. It drives out fear. And when we have the love of Christ in us, we shouldn't be fearful. We've got everything to look forward to. Amen. Let's just pray. Our Lord, help us to not be fearful. Help give us the wind under our wings to carry us to each task that you've given us to do. And Lord, we love you and we praise you, and we want to have no spirit of fear in us. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, go out this week and be fearless instead of fearful in the name of Jesus. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Back in the saddle and out on the trail with Ernie the Horse Guy, now fun will prevail. We'll meet the best horsemen under the sun, tip our hats to the ladies, keep the good Lord number one. Ride along, sing your song, along with better horses, we're right where we belong. Faith and love from up above, the best of the good life's yet to come.
This segment is brought to you by your independent Purina dealers.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy, and welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. We're here at the Silvertooth Stables, owned by my partner, Ed Adams, and we're out here at just a beautiful place out here on a couple nice horses. And wow, you've got a heck of a story for us all, what you got to experience and that everybody should experience. And we're going to talk about the Fort Leavenworth Hunt up in Leavenworth, Kansas. Tell me about that. It had to be a great time.
You know, Ernie, when they called us and they invited Better Horses out to join them on the open fox hunt, I said, this is going to be something different. This is something you and I normally don't do. But I got to tell you, there's a lot of formality into it, and there's a lot of rigor that they go through it. But this was established back in 1926.
Lots of tradition.
Lots of tradition. As a matter of fact, they established it in 1926, and it disbanded back in World War II, and they picked it up in 1964. So this is a long tradition of people that have been riding for over 30 years, and we still had some gentlemen that were still there. A lot of tradition, and even the priests came out, and they blessed the hounds, and they blessed the horses.
I heard they do that. Now, what about the weather? Was the weather pretty nice that day?
You know, I must have texted them 3 times and asked them, are we still having it? It was rainy, and it was muddy, and they were still going all out. So, and I think this should be on everybody's bucket list, because you're doing something with your horses that you normally don't do. This is kind of like extreme riding. and kind of like something that everyone should at least try at least once in their lives. And I got to tell you, they are very safe. We had 150 horses out there with over 18 hounds, and we were looking for foxes and we were looking for coyotes.
Now, how did the horses handle all the horses? Because we've been on trail rides before where you get that group of horses, new horses, it's a little bit challenging.
It is a lot of challenge. And you know, if you got to remember when you put the 150 horses out together, and you'll see it in our tapes and our GoPro, and thank God that the horses really rely on each other and they feed off each other. And over 150 horses, we were pretty calm considering what we were about to do. And when the field masters get out there and they call first field, you're out there and you're out there. It's like going out to a track meet and the horses are starting to get that adrenaline pumping.
And I noticed the huntsmen kept blowing their horn, no pun intended. What did that mean?
You know, that I was trying to figure, that took me all day to figure this out. So here's what the huntsman blows. They have 8 calls on his hunting horn. So moving off, doubling, heel, gone away, gone to ground, calling the whipper in, which we talked about, and also the kill and going home.
Now,
And-
was there a horn for let's put Ed in timeout?
No, we didn't have a timeout horn, but I got put in timeout. So,
I wondered about that.
and the whipper in is the assistant huntsman and the field trial who actually assists in helping the dogs.
Wow, that's neat. And you know what? The hunt is, watching the dogs has to be just as enjoyable as riding.
It was pretty country. It was watching the dogs, watching the other horses, and the camaraderie that actually made the event.
You're riding a nice sawhorse, and your horse had no trouble getting a little go behind it. But you can't pass the field master.
You cannot pass. Actually, you can't pass a gentleman that has his colors. It's very formal, and that's what I like about it. It's kind of like controlled chaos more than anything else. But above all, Ernie, you go through a lot of jumps, and you'll see a lot of us in formation on how we're moving, and we're crossing a lot of land looking for a lot of coyotes and looking for a lot of foxes.
Now, from what I heard, Ed, there's different levels of groups that go out there. Some of them maybe go over the bigger jumps, and you have some intermediate ones and beginner ones. And I saw you making some jumps on the GoPro. That had to be a rush.
And we did. Actually, they put you at a level. I was on the hilltoppers, and so you get to do a couple of jumps. But depending on your experience level and how comfortable you feel with your horse, whether you're new or whether the horse is new, they give you in the proper team that you feel you can actually handle.
Now, what I understand, there's viewers out there that don't have horses but would love to do this type of stuff. And I know down at another hunt, you have the option of getting in the wagons and viewing from that standpoint.
You know, Fort Leavenworth Hunt Club also has an observation team that they go out there and they have pickup trucks and cars, and you can actually watch the whole event itself. So, and I got to tell you, when you're looking at your horse and you want to try this, they welcome new members. They're trying to recruit. They're trying to keep this tradition going. And when you put out your horse, and a lot of people said, no, I don't think I can do that, you'd be surprised on the athleticism of these horses and how much they really enjoy it.
Well, what about the camaraderie you get with friends? You probably met new friends and everything.
We did, and matter of fact, I will tell you that everybody has a flask, and I may have been half lit when I was ridden, but I tell you, it was a lot of fun. But the tradition of riding the English was really a lot of fun. I mean, not only the stock tie and the hard helmet, which is also for safety reasons more than anything else, but Ernie, I tell you, you and I are Western boys, and I think this is something everybody should try at least once.
Well, it sounds like a great time. I tell you what, I'm so glad that they contacted us, like other groups, to come out and be a part of it. There's all kinds of disciplines all over our viewing area and everything. And I think it's great that we can kind of showcase these disciplines in these events.
And it was a lot of fun. We want to thank them again for coming out and inviting us to the Fort Leavenworth Hunt Club. And it was a joy to have. And I think if you're thinking about going to a hunt club, these are two tradition. And not also to mention the Mission Valley Hunt Club is also just south of here. And there is a lot of opportunities and a lot of good people that are willing to bring you along.
Tell us about the tack. I mean, that's an important part of the hunt. Kind of tell us a little bit about what you use and what don't you use.
Yeah, we have to go into the English style, and it's not very fancy. The bridle should be flat without embellished stitching. The standing martingale and breastplate is appropriate if needed, but neither are required, and running martingales are not really proper for the hunt fit. So the only thing, Ernie, is that the bit should assure significant braking power. So
Good
don't
point.
go out with just a snaffle show bit. You need some woe to your horse.
Whoa to yours. Exactly, because some of them horses have a lot of go.
And you know, the saddle that we use, it's very simple. It's English style, but you know, it should be basically just brown leather and very simple and very traditional.
What about the breeds of the horses? Was there one predominant breed out there on the hunt?
You know, that goes back to athleticism. You saw a lot of warm bloods. I saw a lot of Arabs there, and we saw a lot of thoroughbreds. I personally had an appendix, which is part quarter and part thoroughbred, but all these horses are very athletic. They all can take it, and you will work your horse, and it'll be a good exercising time to have.
Well, I'd like to end this thing just by saying tally ho.
Tally ho.
Tally ho. Have a great time. Thank you guys so much for letting us be a part of your event out there at the Fort Leavenworth Hunt. We love it. I'll tell you what, hope to do more of these type of things.
And we'll do it again. But we'll have to get our English accent down. You want to try that?
I don't know. It'd be a while.
I don't know.
I don't know. I said some bread pudding.
Hi, I'm Donna. This is Ringo. We're with CSI Saddle Pads. I'd like to invite you to ride our new revolutionary FlexPlate saddle pad. We offer a 30-day money-back, ride it, get it dirty guarantee. And the best part of the pad is it's 100% American-made with American parts by American hands.
I've been using CSI pads for 16 years, and there's a reason behind that. It is a total performance system for me. I just can't say enough about them.
For more information, go to csipads.com.
Hi friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy, and I want to talk to you about Better Horses Properties. If you have a property you'd like to list and sell, I'm the guy to contact. When it comes to marketing, we're second to none. We've got the publication. We'll promote your place in the publication. We'll promote it on our radio networks. We're going to promote it on TV and our e-blast. Better Horses Network is your direction to go when you're looking to market your horse property. So contact me at Ernie@BetterHorsesRadio.com for your property and let us go to work for you.
Hay is not for horses. They deserve Stanley Premium Western Forage. There's no better place in the country to grow forage than Idaho, and Stanley is one of the country's largest producers. From pellets, cubes, and chopped forage in bags to compressed in 3-tie bales, Stanley cultivates the premium forage types horse owners demand. Because your horse needs hay, but he deserves Stanley Premium Western Forage.
Your buddy Ron once said he could install your ceiling fan. He couldn't. And that one time, Ron said another chili dog was a good idea? Yeah, it wasn't. So when Ron said you'd never afford a John Deere tractor, you knew better. Now, Ron does too. The E-Series, legendary John Deere quality, unexpected low price.
Stop by and see Heritage Tractor at one of its 9 locations for your John Deere and Featherlight trailer needs. HeritageTractor.com.
This segment of Better Horses TV is brought to you by Silver Spurs Equine and Extra Quarter Horses.
Hello friends, Ernie the Horse Guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. Unbelievable place I'm at. One of my favorites. I'm here with Randy Little. PFI, we do it all the time, is PFI, America's Western store, but BootDaddy.com has just went off the charts.
Yes, it has.
Thanks for being a part of Better Horses TV. So exciting to be here with the star of Larry's Country Diner in Springfield, in the town we love.
You know, Ernie, this is starting our 43rd year in business. 43 years and we're still growing. Check it out. We have a big tent out behind us here.
Big.
It's 300 feet long. You know, we thought we'd play football, put some elephants in it, but it's full of boots and shirts and jeans. And we're barbecuing 10,000 hamburgers this weekend.
Wow, and I tell you what, people just keep packing in. You have 2 sales, boot sales. You're just wrapping up, you're going to be wrapping up the one we had in the fall, and then you got one in the spring.
Yes, we do it twice a year whether we need to or not.
Well,
we have fun doing it.
This is as big as an attraction in Branson as anywhere at PFI, Saddle City, and of course, BootDaddy.com. Tell us their thoughts behind BootDaddy.com.
Well, actually, BootDaddy started out as a bull 10 years ago. And then we started making boots, and then we started making jeans, colognes, perfumes, hoodies, hats, anything. Now, BootDaddy is a total big brand by itself. So really, all you got to do is go to BootDaddy.com. Forget the rest. Go to BootDaddy.com, and you know, as Larry Black said, he couldn't say PFI, so he had to say BootDaddy. So that's how I got started, and that was 9 years ago.
Well, we got viewers in the Kansas City area, viewers all out in Kansas, western Kansas. They can order from BootDaddy.com.
And they do. And you know, the best thing is, if we walk down here right now, they would be at least 10 or 15 states represented right now in the store. from people watching Larry's Country Diner. It's a great show. We invite people to come see us, and they do.
It's a great show. It's the greatest show
It's
as far as on there. Just a wonderful show. You and your partner Paul's on there every
and
week.
my son Colin.
Colin, you're on there. And what is the Larry's Country Diner meant to you? Because you've taken it to another level.
Friendship. Larry is the greatest friend anyone could ever have. He's as wholesome as you get, and I would do it if no one ever showed up. That's how great of experience it is. And just being natural on there, as you tell, it's never scripted. Whatever one says, it's the way it works.
Kind of like this one.
Just kind of like this one.
But I tell you what, it's been really a privilege for me to be able to work with you when my times with Purina and work with you other times in promoting PBR.
And we just finished the big PBR, the biggest ever. We had the governor here, and he rappelled out of the ceiling. Our governor of Missouri rappelled down there as we had the national flag come down.
Is he not a cool guy or
cool
what?
Guy. We had the lieutenant governor came in, and we had 1,500 FFA students that we had there at the PBR on Friday night.
And how many years have you put the PBR in?
Next year's going to be our 10th.
10th year.
Of the Ford Tough Series.
Wow, I tell you what, but the sales, you got sales going on all the time. You always have sales going on. You always got something going on at Boot Daddy. And like I said, folks, it's easy to order from bootdaddy.com.
It is. Ernie, the best thing is we enjoy people, and people like to come in and see the different things that we have. We tell people we're not going to be the lowest price person all the time. We're not in that. We let Walmart do that. So what we do is try to create different designs and different items that you're going to want to buy.
Well, I'm here with Mr. Springfield. We're talking about Randy Little. I'll tell you what, if you come down and go to Branson or Springfield and you don't stop at Boot Daddy or bootdaddy.com or PFI, shame on you. Thank you so much for being a part of Better Horses TV with Ernie the Horse Guy.
Well, thank you.
Welcome to Silver Spurs Equine LLC. Silver Spurs is home to over 20 NRHA champion stallions, including two $2 million sires, Conquistador Whiz and Nick It in the Bud, along with NRHA $1 million sires, A Sparkling Vintage, Spook's Got a Gun, and Einstein's Revolution. Extra is home to Wimpy's Little Step, NRHA Hall of Fame member, $9 million sire, and currently the NRHA's #1 all-time living sire, the flashy Palomino stallion Shiner's Voodoo Doctor, whose first 2 foal crops are performing successfully. And Wimpy Needs a Cocktail, Wimpy's Little Step's highest earning sire. This combining forces of breeding, training, and selling some of the best offspring the industry has to offer by champion sires and champion producing mares gives everyone access to exceptional stallions and performers. Visit us at silverspursequine.com.
This is one of my favorite bits that I make. The name I give this bit is the Derby bit. I had a roan head horse that was running through the bridle with the chain bit, and I made this bit here. It really worked good on that horse. I sent this bit to Donnie McNeese, who breaks in cattle for Jeff Smith and Ike Cox, and I said, ride this bit on a lot of horses, see how you get along with it. They did. He said, Bull, that's really a good bit. Fits a lot of horses. Then I give this bit to my good friend Brent Wright, who I make bits for. And I said, see how this bit will work on a reining horse. I call him up a couple months later. I said, Brent, how you getting along with that bit? And he said, good. He said, you don't need it right this minute, do you? And I said, no. He said, good, because I'm down here in Texas and I just won a big futurity riding that bit. And when Brent got home, he gave me the buckle that he won the futurity with. I'm really proud of that buckle that Brent Wright gave it to me, and also that he got along so good with my bit.
Restoration of live horse and greyhound racing in Kansas will generate over 4,000 jobs, nearly $300 million in annual wages, and $23 million in new annual revenue. Reinvigorating racing at the Woodlands and 3 other Kansas tracks also creates superior destination entertainment districts in Kansas. The Greater Kansas Racing Alliance is working to restore our horse and greyhound racing industries, putting Kansas in the winner's circle. Visit raceforkansas.com to show your support, and let's race for Kansas.
This segment is brought to you by CSI Saddle Pads.
Hey Ernie, thanks for having us on your show, Better Horses Network, this week. This week what I'm going to be talking about is small things that you can do to make huge improvements with you and your horse. And what I mean by that is it's October, it's the fall of the year. A lot of the seasons are winding down or ending for most people. And particularly for me, myself, it's a good time for me to reflect back and look at how I can get better. Because no matter what you're doing in your life, I think that if you're not trying to get better, you're getting worse. And especially when you're dealing with an animal, such as a horse. So what I'm doing today with this mare, this is a 15-year-old mare that I bought earlier this summer for a practice horse. And as the summers went on, she's gotten better and better. This mare didn't ride real great when I got her, didn't have a lot of feel, wasn't very soft. But slowly we've gotten better, and as that's gotten better, she's gotten better. So that brings me to my next point. Take this time to evaluate you and your horse. And sometimes when you look at that evaluation, you can pick out one or two small things that if you work on for the coming year, you're going to be able to make that next step. And I think that applies to everybody. I don't care if you win the world championship this year. There are things you're going to have to do to try to get better, and sometimes when you're at the top of the mountain, you've got to work your tail off just to stay there. Okay? So, you know, that's what this time of year, I think it's a really good time for that evaluation and to look back and see how your summer went, see how your progression has been in yourself and your horse, because here's the deal with, you know, just talking about horsemanship. If I get better, this horse gets better. If I help this horse understand the responses I'm looking for, she gets better. She starts to understand me more. She becomes more relaxed, more confident. That just oozes through her body. And when your horse feels confident and relaxed, you're going to feel confident and relaxed. So today what I'm doing with her, Wade and I are fixing to run some steers. We're getting ready for the U.S. finals, and then we've got the World Series finals, or I got the World Series finals coming up in Las Vegas in December, so I'm going to be focusing on getting more prepared for that. But what I've been doing the past few days is getting my horse more prepared. And so, like I told you a little bit ago, this is a 15-year-old mare. You know, as a horse gets older, they don't get softer. Just like as I've gotten older, I haven't become more flexible. I've become less flexible. So sometimes what happens with our horses is we finally get to a point where we know we need to soften them up. So the next day, so you take that day and you work on softening your horse. Well, what you don't realize is the next day that horse is much sorer than he was the day before you started that. So once you start this process, just like I've started with this mare, you need to continue it so that they work that lactic acid out of their muscles, out of their system, so that those muscles heal and those cells heal, and then that horse starts to get softer and softer and be in better shape. It's just like you, if you start running and stretching and working out one day, you're not only sore the next day, you might be sore all week. So today, for this horse, and this is a head horse, what I want to do is soften this horse in the rib cage, which in turn will soften her up in her face. And the reason I want to soften her up in her face is so that she scores better. And when I rope and I pick up on her, we have a nice soft move to where I can handle cattle better. So what I'm going to begin with today is just picking up on my inside rein and lightly rolling my spur against that rib cage
and providing just enough pressure that she finds that release point. And don't confuse pressure with release points. Pressure is what you use to help a horse stimulate the thinking side of their brain so they find that release point. You know, for a long time we've been taught horses give to pressure. I don't believe that's true. You use the pressure to stimulate the thinking side of their brain and so that they find that response, which is the release point. And when I put my spur or my calf of my leg against this horse's rib cage, when I pick up on this rein and she finds that soft spot, when I release, that's what tells her that's what I'm asking, okay? So with her today, I'm going to do a lot of this before I ever go to the roping pin. I'm just going to squeeze her forward, and now I'm going to use my inside leg and my inside rein. I'm going to pick up on my inside rein, roll that spur into her, and when she softens in that rib cage, I'm going to release. After I do this a while, think about it, if every time you put your leg against your horse's rib cage, pick up on this rein, she softens here, then you do it on the other side and she softens on that side. Well, before long, when I pick up on my reins and I put both legs against her and I ask her to soften, and she hasn't softened yet, but she will. I'll go two-handed, there you go. There. Right there, she kind of went back to some of her old ways of getting stiff and hollowing out her back a little bit. And this is a really nice mare. I've done good on her this summer, roping on her, and she's a nice mare. But at the same time, she's 15, and she's just now getting broke. Like I said, when I got her, she was stiff and just, you know, her fundamentals were a little weak. The more I've worked with her, the better she's got. Going back to my original subject of take this time to evaluate about what you can get better on for next year, there's several of these little things, if I keep working on her, we're going to be better for next year. That's my training tip for this week. Have a great week of training. Go to philhaugenhorsemanship.com. Our clinic schedule is going to be posted next week for 2018. If you have any questions or comments, give us a call. Thanks again.
Friends, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Better Horses TV. We just had a blast doing it and look forward to doing more episodes. I want to, in the meantime, make sure you check out our radio show, Better Horses Radio, on KC Style on KCMO Talk Radio. Comes on every Saturday morning at 7 on 710 AM or 103.7 FM. Or just go to our site, betterhorses.com, and see where our other shows, radio shows, are playing. So until next week, adios. I'm Ernie the Horse Guy, and ride safe.